Listen, you're living a sugar-free existence. It's not bad, but could it be better with a sugar-free Nutella substitute? Yeah, I think so. Hey guys, certified nutritionist Samantha Souza here. I help teach people how to end the cycle of yo-yo dieting for good, and I personally subscribe to a sugar-free, low-carb, high-fat existence. And today I'm going to be teaching you how I make Nutella from home with great whole ingredients and quality sugar substitutes, so you don't have to be messing around with a bunch of weird, iffy, pre-purchased, processed, potentially not so good ingredients in some sugar-free Nutella substitutes that are out there that can give you a lot of gastrointestinal distress. So if you subscribe to a keto or low-carb lifestyle, or maybe you just want to enjoy a product like Nutella without any of the guilt, you don't have to be keto to enjoy this recipe, but I'm going to teach you how I do it from home, so let's get started. So you're gonna want roasted hazelnuts. You can buy these on Amazon. I'll have a link down below. If they are not roasted and they are raw hazelnuts with the skins on, what you're gonna wanna do is roast them in the oven until they start to become fragrant and the skins start to sort of peel away from the actual hazelnut itself. That's going to give you more of that Nutella taste, because until they're roasted, they don't really have a similar taste. So that's something I'm gonna tell you about ahead of time. My nuts that I purchased were already pre-roasted and pre-shelled. So not only will the roasting help you get the shells off, but it will also aid in the flavor. So if you are going to be using that and doing that method, make sure you roast them about a half an hour, but just be mindful on about 350, and then you can put them in a tea towel and then just roll them around until all the skins come off. That's step number one. I don't have to do that today, so I'm not going to, because like I said, I have pre-roasted nuts and they're already deshelled, but don't forget that step in the event that you're going to make this at home. So I'm gonna take about 8 ounces, which is about half of this bag, because it's a 1 pound bag, of my hazelnuts, and I'm going to blend them in a food processor until they become liquefied. It's going to take a little bit of time before they start to leach out their own oils and sort of liquefy. We will be adding supplemental oils to this, but that's sort of the first step, so I'll show you the process. So after a little while of blending, this is going to go from something that looks kind of like mealy and sort of like almond flour or a nut flour to literally like a peanut butter texture. You have to just be patient and really let it go for a bit, and it will get to this texture now. So you can see now it's really in that peanut butter texture, but on the side, you can kind of get an idea of what it looked like before, also from the video, but this is what we're looking for before we add the rest of our ingredients. Texture. Now I'm going to be adding a little bit of supplemental oil, like I said. I'm going to be using coconut oil. You can use ghee if you like, but I really don't want you to do, and what I encourage you not to use, is any sort of vegetable oil. They have been proven to actually do more harm for your heart and cholesterol than saturated fats and other fat sources and oil sources. So whatever you do, please try to avoid vegetable oil, canola oil, things like that, and really try to go for ghee or coconut oil. That would be best. If you don't like coconut because it has a polarizing taste to you, try and get refined coconut oil. It becomes less coconut in flavor if that's something you're kind of averse to. So that's what we'll be using today. So I'm going to be adding a 1/4 cup of whatever approved oil you choose, and then a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. I personally like really dark chocolate flavor, so I'm using the Hershey's dark chocolate cocoa powder. It's called Special Dark. I really use this for everything because it really gives a really intense, rich chocolate flavor. If you don't want it to be that rich or that sort of dark chocolate flavor, you can use a regular cocoa powder, no problem. I'm using this. You're going to want to use about a 1/2 cup if you're using regular cocoa powder, and I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup of this just because it's a little bit more intense. We will be adding a Lily's chocolate bar also to this. It's going to help sort of emulsify everything because it already has those cocoa butter solids in it. So here we have, I did a little bit more than a quarter cup of this dark, almost a half cup. Then we have our quarter cup of coconut oil, and then half of a Lily's milk chocolate bar. You can use any unsweetened bar that you prefer. I like to use milk chocolate. It gives it a little bit more of that consistency. And then we're just going to blend this up. And then, oh, we also have to add our sweetener. Oh, that would have been bad. Let's go get our preferred sweetener. I'm using Swerve. It's one of my favorites for baking and using other things like this. It tends to be a little bit more palatable than pure erythritol or pure stevia. So I really like Swerve for this. You want to make sure that whatever you're using, you are using a powdered consistency. You don't want to use granular. It's going to make your Nutella substitute very grainy. Yeah, we're going to be using a half a cup of that. Okie dokie, that's better. All right, let's blend this sucker up, shall we? And this is what we're left with. I'm telling you, I just took a spoonful. It tastes exactly like Nutella. Obviously, it's a little bit more bitter because it's dark chocolate. Again, you can mellow that out with either using less of the special dark or using regular traditional cocoa powder. You're welcome to do that. I'm gonna put this in a bowl and call it a day. I will say, if you do want to buy products that are keto approved or low carb approved, I do have a list down below of a lot of my favorite ones that are ingredient safe and are not going to hurt you on your low carb or keto journey. Feel free to download it, and I think it's pretty helpful. That does it, y'all. You can keep this in the fridge and it'll be hard, kind of more like butter with that coconut oil, or you can keep it out on the counter. It's totally fine, depends on how spreadable you want it.
That's what she said.
Oh, did you want me to keep on talking? See you next time.